Hi, everybody. How are you? This is Kelly Kelton. I am an executive leader with the Abundantly Wise Living Group, and I wanted to thank you for joining me today. This is a really exciting topic, and there is a lot of fury and just buzz around CBD oil, and it's been in the news a lot lately. And so what I want to do is share some of the science and have people share their personal testimonies as well about the truth, about really what is going on with this product and what's the difference between CBD and marijuana, why is that important, what can CBD oil do for you, and you're not alone in wanting to discover more about that. I had not really ever considered using CBD oil before. I was kind of leery of it. I just thought, oh, that's kind of odd. And I just very much associated it with marijuana. And I just thought, nah, it's not really my cup of tea. And one of the things I've been doing is reading this book. I highly recommend it. I got it at the Young Living Convention. It's called The Power of CBD and Essential Oils by Dr. Oliver Wenker. So pick up a copy for yourself. It is full of really, really good science, but also his personal testimony of what CBD oil did for him. And I think you'll find that really fascinating. It's actually a pretty easy read. So we're going to dive into some of the research. And it might seem a little bit overwhelming. You can go back and rewatch this video. This is also going to be probably a little bit longer than a lot of our videos. We try to keep them to like 10-15 minutes, but there's actually quite a bit of information to cover. So, grab a cup of tea or some water infused with lemon oil, or grab some peppermint. I'm going to grab some Valor because anytime I speak in front of people, I feel like I need that extra amount of calm. And so here we go. Oh, one last thing. I also wanted to just, for point of reference, I am not a doctor and I'm not a scientist, and I'm not prescribing or advising in any sort of professional capacity. All this information comes directly from these resources that we're using. And I just would love to implore you to go out there and do some research on your own. So I personally just started using CBD oil just for a couple of weeks now. I started with the cinnamon at 500 milligrams. And the thing that I've noticed the most, and I think I'm going to go up to the higher level of the next dosing, is that I am getting to sleep faster. And so I'm really excited about that. I think the best thing to do is to use it at night. So that's what I'm doing personally. So that's a little bit about the background of my experience with CBD. I look forward to seeing and hearing what other people are experiencing as well. So first and foremost, CBD is not marijuana. They do both come from the same plant though, which is cannabis sativa. That is the hemp plant, but they're actually different varieties. So the one variety, I believe it's pronounced indica, is usually commonly known as marijuana, and that is full of THC. The cannabis sativa, I believe, is the one that produces mostly CBD, and we're going to get into a little bit of that. So marijuana is produced when the hemp plant is grown without the male variety present, and the resin produced from the small hair-like appendages, they're called trichomes, of all the female plants, those are full of THC, which produces the psychoactive effects that we associate with marijuana. So the CBD, which is cannabidiol, is a natural substance from another variety of hemp. It is produced when the hemp plant is grown with both the male and the female plants. And the resin produced is full of CBD with very little THC. So that's another difference here. So let's talk about the history. The history of CBD, it's been used all over the world for a long time, for centuries, in fact. And but CBD at some point did gain a bad reputation here in the United States specifically, and its origins come back to Asia and the Middle East. And it was used for paper and food, fiber, construction materials, clothes, and other products. It showed up in the United States back in the 16th century. In fact, farmers used to be fined a certain percentage of their if their production did not also include hemp plants. So I think that's really important to know, that this plant has been used for thousands and thousands of years, for not only health benefits, but for all sorts of materials, like we talked about, construction materials, paper. Hemp paper is actually supposedly like 100 times stronger than paper that comes from trees, and it's also more sustainable. So in the 1920s, a negative media war was waged on marijuana. And so there's a little bit of corruption behind that, and there was a financial gain to be had. And so what happened is that it was deemed a Schedule I controlled substances. So there's 5 classes, and all drugs are categorized into those 5 different categories. And so this category is saying, if it's a Schedule I controlled substance, that it has no health benefits and that it has a high potential for abuse. And so people have been fighting for the right to produce hemp and use its benefits for a long time, and it's taken us over 80 years, almost 100 years to come to this point. So this is exciting. In July of 2018, CBD was downgraded from a Schedule I controlled substance to a Schedule V controlled substance, meaning that it had some benefit. And then even farther along the line, and let me tell you something interesting. The reason that CBD even got that mark down was because a drug company came up with a product called Epidiolex, which was a drug that contained CBD. So the drug company pushed for that. So it's very rare I should say it's interesting to see how when a drug company wants something done and they have money behind it, they can get the laws changed. So finally, in December of 2018, CBD went from a Schedule V controlled substance to an unscheduled substance due to the Hemp Farming Act of 2018. And so now it's completely removed from that kind of restriction as long as it has less than 0.3% THC. And so that means that federal law makes CBD legal in all 50 states. Yeah! So really exciting news, you guys. However, our individual states still have the right to decide how CBD is used and sold. So you have to know the regulation of each state. So right now in Illinois, we can actually purchase CBD oil. And if you are in the military, you also have to know where you are in the world, what the restrictions are. So make sure you do your research. So, okay, let's get into some of the science, okay? The endocannabinoid system, that is a mouthful. I have a hard time saying that. I've only practiced that about 50 times. Is composed, it's a biological system. So our body actually already has receptor sites that are for a CBD, which is really exciting. So we were designed that way. These are endogenous, lipid-based, retrograde neurotransmitters that bind to the cannabinoid receptors, CB1 and CB2, and cannabinoid receptor proteins that are expressed through the central nervous system, so they affect your brain, and also the peripheral nervous system, which are your nerve throughout your body. So in common terms, that's a lot of science. In common terms, The endocannabinoid system, which we'll call ECS, is linked to many functions in the body that help it maintain homeostasis. So this includes appetite, your digestion, your immune function, inflammation in the body, and also including your neurotransmitters in your brain, mood, energy regulation, sleep, reproductive and fertility, motor control, temperature regulation, memory, pain, and also the part of your body that is associated with pleasure and reward. So if any of these get out of balance, I can't say that word too many times. The ECS system sends out natural endocannabinoids and enzymes to regulate the body and bring it back into homeostasis. And so I'll give you a couple of examples. You know, when you are freezing cold, your body will naturally start to shiver. That is your body's response. And when you get hungry, your stomach growls. And when you get tired, you yawn. These are all examples of our body trying to regulate itself. And when your body is unable to regulate itself and effectively maintain this homeostasis, it increases the likelihood that you can develop disease. So it's really important that we're doing the things for our body, not only eating healthy, getting enough sleep, exercising, doing things that make us feel good. It's important to be taking supplements, anything that helps support the body and decrease the likelihood of developing disease. So your body makes its own endocannabinoids, but you can also use these plant-based ones, like CBD, to help support the body. So think about all the things I just listed, and I could tell you, a handful of the ones I listed that are areas that I could definitely use help in, especially related to stress and immune function, especially temperature control. I'm always freezing cold. But anyway, I just wanted everybody to think about how our bodies are functioning and really take inventory. How are you doing? And let's also then go into THC versus CBD. So let's kind of uncover some of the myths and the truth about those two things. So CB1 receptors are in the central nervous system. That's your brain and the nerves of your spinal cord. And CB2 receptors are found all over the body, in the peripheral nervous system, the digestive system, and then also in the specialized cells of the immune system. So THC acts on both of those, CB1 and CB2. And they actually attach to the brain, the CB1 receptor sites. And that's what causes that intoxicating effects that are experienced with marijuana. It also affects the peripheral nervous system when it attaches to CB2, which is why some smoke marijuana to feel calmer or to decrease pain. It's also why cancer patients recovering from chemotherapy are prescribed medical marijuana, because the effects of the digestive system also help prevent nausea. So there's a lot of benefits to THC. The important thing is that there are also many negative effects to THC, including, especially with long exposure, it's been linked to schizophrenia, impaired memory, dependence, and several other things that, as we over time are using it, we're then getting less of the benefits. And so also some people are more genetically sensitive to THC as well. Not to mention, it also is considered illegal, at least for a while now, in Illinois. I believe that's going to change in January. And if you were to take a drug test for your job, you would fail it or lose your job. Not cool. So what if you could get the effects of the marijuana but not have the THC in it and still have it affect your body in a very positive way? So when you isolate the CBD oil from the hemp, you get a pure form of these cannabinoids without the THC. The interesting difference is that CBD does not bind directly to the CB1 or CB2 receptor sites, but they actually impact them indirectly by modifying the receptor's ability to bind to the cannabinoids. And so they actually activate another receptor called TRPV1, and that works to control important functions in the endocannabinoid system. So that's an important distinction to make. So by targeting and using the endocannabinoid system through the cannabinoids, in this case, we're talking about CBD oil, we can help the body to regulate itself and also utilize what the body already has in place in a more consistent way. So we're helping the body to work smarter, not harder, which sounds good, right? So this is I'm sorry, trying to keep going with my notes here. So the product that I'm using right now is called Nature's Ultra, and it's a CBD isolate versus full spectrum. And so we're going to go into some of the positives and benefits and the negatives of using a full spectrum product versus using an isolate. So what's really important to know is that the hemp plant is actually a scavenger plant. And so it will pick up any pesticides, fertilizers, any heavy metals in the soil and suck them up into the plant. So if you're using any form of marijuana, you're also possibly contaminating your body with these synthetic and dangerous chemicals, not to mention heavy metals, which are really, really bad for your brain health. So the unique thing about the Nature's Ultra CBD product is that, again, it's isolated. So when we're using a full spectrum CBD, it still has a small amount of THC in it. And that's another important distinction if you are hoping to get the effects of the CBD without the psychogenic effects of the THC in marijuana. So also, a lot of people gravitate towards full spectrum CBD because it contains terpenes. And terpenes are a powerful compound that help create what's called the entourage effect. And that means that they work together to create benefits like the feelings that you get from smoking pot, and also you're getting the terpenes, which are interesting chemicals that we also have in essential oils. So we'll talk a little bit about how both of those work together. So the other way to produce CBD is in its isolated form, and that's the one we're really going to focus on today. And so it's pure CBD. There's absolutely no THC in it. And we were also therefore to get the heavy metals out. And so we are able to isolate away any of the dangerous chemicals that you would be getting in the CBD or from the oil as it's extracted. And so this is considered a smart spectrum. And so because the terpenes are removed in the extraction process, we've actually put them back into the CBD by using essential oils. So the particular one I'm using is cinnamon oil, which also is known to have good effects on balancing your blood sugar. So if you also have any issues with blood sugar, you can look up the benefits of cinnamon oil, do your research. It's great. So CBD oil is fabulous because you can use it topically. So it's very easy to apply. You don't need any special things or devices to use it. It's not going into your lungs. And you can see that we've got it here in a dropper form. So the dose for this is 100, or I should say 1 milliliter a day, okay? And you can just see, you can just drop the oil right on your skin. There are other ways to take this oil, but because I am going to be FDA compliant, you can contact me personally and directly if you want more information about it and how I've been using it. But the way that it's recommended to be used is to actually just apply it to the skin, and it will absorb right into your bloodstream through the skin. This particular product is 500 milligrams, and again, this is the lowest dose. Okay, so you can apply it to the temples of your head, to your neck, your elbows, knees, joints. You can apply it to the wrists, the soles of your feet, and also your shoulders. The other things that's interesting to know is that the CBD oil has been put into many different forms. So we actually have a joint and muscle balm in addition to the oils. So let's talk a little bit about safety, because everybody's bodies are different, so they're going to react differently. There are some known side effects of CBD, and so one of the potential side effects is fatigue, appetite change. It could go up or down depending on the product, and if one is sensitive, then you could have some issues when you go to the bathroom. So CBD is also affected by your food intake, and so more cannabinoids are absorbed on a full stomach. And also because CBD is fat soluble, when you're consuming them with healthy dose of fat, it actually increases the amount of CBD that reaches your bloodstream by up to 3 times. So think about that. I also prefer to take my CBD at night before I go to bed for that exact reason, as the potential of causing fatigue. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I want that at night, not in the middle of the day or when I'm driving to work. So the other consideration to keep in mind is that CBD is broken down in the liver. This is done by the same enzymes that a lot of pharmaceutical drugs are broken down by. Therefore, it's possible for your system to get a little bit overworked by trying to break down too many things at once. So I do recommend that you talk with your physician if you're thinking about adding something new into a regime where you're already taking pharmaceutical drugs. If you're not taking any pharmaceuticals, you're fine. So what now? If you're like me, after seeing this information, I was like, yeah, sign me up. I'll try it. But where do you get it from, and how do I know that it's from a pure source? And those things are so important. So Young Living is the company that I've been solely working with for 6 years now. We use them to get all of our personal care products and our essential oils. They have a seed to seal guarantee, which means they absolutely will not put a product on the market if it is at all, they do a lot of lab testing and stuff like that. Their products have to be 100% pure, or they just will not allow them out into the marketplace. So Young Living actually purchased an entire CBD oil company out of Colorado called Nature's Sunshine, and they require that, called Nature's Ultra. Nature's Ultra is required to use farming practices and all that kind of thing that are in strict alignment with Young Living's strict standards. So like I said, I've been using Young Living for 6 years, and again, their purity, their effectiveness, and the integrity of their products and the company is second to none. And so they did not rush to the marketplace to bring CBD oil out, because you can get it anywhere. They waited to partner with a company that they actually trusted would produce a product to their extremely high standards. So one of the first products they have is called the Calm Roll-On. Moms, dads, this is for you, but also you can use this on your children. So that's another amazing benefit here, okay? CBD Calm Roll-On creates a peaceful environment that will help you relax, and it helps quiet your mind as well. This is the perfect roll-on for when you're dealing with stress or trying to wind down for the night. It gives you a soothing, restful night's sleep, which is so important because our sleep can really affect our immune system and how our entire body functions. If you have ever been up, nursing a baby all night long, or just for whatever reason, maybe because of stress, have not been sleeping, you know how you feel when you're not sleeping. The other cool thing is because Nature's Ultra partnered with Young Living, we've added essential oils to it as well. So you have eucalyptus, frankincense, lavender, orange, vetiver, and ylang ylang oil. So these are all really fabulous oils to help with just calm, peace, and focus. These are available in 2 strengths, 300 milligrams or 600 milligrams. So you have crazy day or really crazy day. Take your pick, all right? So, like I mentioned, we have a joint and muscle balm, okay? This one is in the form of a rub, and it can specifically target sore, achy muscles, and it kind of takes the hot and cold sensation of menthol, a little bit like icy hot, but it's also been infused with camphor, clove, helichrysum, lemon, peppermint, tea tree, and wintergreen essential oil. So these ingredients are all working synergistically to help soothe your hardworking body. So whether it's a soccer field situation where one of the kids come off complaining that, their calf muscle is aching, or, you did some crazy yoga class and now your back is killing you, try the joint and muscle balm. We also have, like I mentioned, the oils in 3 different flavors. So we have cool mint, which is actually not my favorite taste-wise, but it has really great benefits. And it has the dropper, and again, you apply this to your skin, and that's available in 500 and 1,000 milligrams. If you know anything about essential oils, you know that spearmint and peppermint are really good for the digestive system. So if you're also looking for help with the digestive system, inflammation, discomfort in the body, and you want immune support, the cool mint might be a really good fit for you. We also have a citrus CBD that comes in 500 and 1,000 milligrams as well. This one is a little bit more focused on mood. We know that the citrus oils are uplifting to the mood. If anyone's ever smelled like a freshly peeled orange, we just know that that's such a great uplifting fragrance. And it's also been known to help with rest and helping you calm down in the evening, sleep, appetite, and then also for memory. So try the citrus. The one I'm using, like I talked about, is the cinnamon, and I'm using the 500 milligram right now, but I plan to go up to the 1,000 milligram concentration, and is also great for digestion, immune function, inflammation, all these things. Here's something else you did not know, but should be very excited about. Young Living also partnered with Nature's Ultra to bring a pet CBD oil. So all of you furry lovers out there that have, their little fur babies, you can feel good about knowing that you can help your dog function better, or I don't know, yes, you can use it for cats, but also horses. So that's really fascinating. I recommend you looking into some more research to see how CBD has been using for animals. But maybe you have a dog that barks excessively, and maybe they have separation or anxiety issues, or is struggling with discomfort, or maybe they're getting older in age and they just could use some more ease if they're suffering at all. So with the CBD oil for pets, you're going to place 1 serving into your pet's mouth, food or water, whichever works best for your pets. But do not give it to a pet that is allergic to hemp. And the Nature's Ultra Pet CBD oil does not contain any essential oils. It also contains no gluten, no fillers, no chemicals, fragrances, flavorings, and is cruelty-free. So, and across the board, for any of you out there that have any allergies, in these CBD oil products, you're literally just getting the pure isolated CBD, you're getting the essential oils, and then the base is a coconut oil. So there is no sugar, there's no starch, no salt, no wheat, gluten, yeast, milk, soy, no peanut products. So if you have allergies, it's also very safe to use. So if you are unfamiliar with Young Living and want to get started with these CBD products and see how they can benefit you more, contact me directly and I would love to help you get started. We have lots of different ways to do that. If you are watching this and you're already a Young Living member, then what you want to do is go to the Young Living website and link your account. And you can actually order directly from Nature's Ultra through a link on our website, and you want to link the two accounts together, and you will actually get PV credit when you order CBD products. So it will count towards your PV for the month if you're trying to accumulate a certain amount of points to use at a later time. It's super easy to do. It takes a second. And my CBD oil came very quickly. And you can order directly from Nature's Ultra website as well. But if you heard this information and you heard it from me, I would love to work specifically with you. So contact me directly. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section of this video and I will get back to you. Like I said, I've been reading up on CBD. I have this amazing book I encourage you guys to get, The Power of CBD and Essential Oils by Dr. Oliver Wenker. Great information on how CBD can benefit you. So thank you guys so much for coming today. Thank you for watching and participating. I know this was a lengthy class, longer than I normally speak for, but I'm excited that you came, and I hope that you have a great day. Thanks for coming out, guys. Bye.